Welcome dear children to Standard 5 EVS 1. Today we will be studying chapter 17, Water. The learning objectives for this session are: we will study about water pollution, disposal of waste, purification of water, we will learn about water works, we should understand famine, and we will learn about water management. Children, we will do an activity over here. First, we will collect rainwater directly when it's raining, and then we will collect some rainwater that is flowing on ground, and we shall observe it. When we see that the rainwater that is directly falling from the sky is clear, crystal clear, and it seems that there is no mud in it, nothing dissolved in it. However, the muddy water is unclear, has lot of soil mixed with it, and it flows on ground, so we don't know what else might be in it. So when some substance gets mixed in water, it becomes impure. This is called as pollution of water. So if substances that have mixed in water are harmful for living things, we say that the water is polluted. Some of the substances that are mixed in water float on water, and the water looks unclean and muddy also. And some substances dissolve in water, but we cannot see it. In the earlier chapters, we have learnt about sources of water. We know that rivers, lakes, streams, rain, wells are some sources of water from where we get our water. So how does the sources of water get polluted? This is because of disposal of wastewater. So the wastewater of a city or a town is collected and let into a water body at a convenient location. The wastewater from residential buildings as well as from factories and industries contain many kinds of impurities. Some of them dissolve in water while some do not. Sewage waters can carry microorganisms that spread diseases. Sewage waters are generally waters that are found in what we call as gutters. This sewage water is wastewater from households. It may contain water from toilets as well. Wastewaters from industries is more likely to contain poisonous substance. If all this wastewater is let into water bodies as it is, the waste bodies become polluted and is dangerous. Such water cannot be used for drinking purpose or any other purposes. Because such water has many poisonous substances dissolved in it, it is harmful for living beings, so we cannot use that kind of water. Since wastewaters from the industries when dissolved in water pollutes the water, it is compulsory for factory owners to treat the water before letting it out. So what is treatment of water? The water is first cleaned and purified before letting them into river, so that the river does not get polluted and the people who use the water from the river do not get any disease or any infection due to this polluted water. So directly the polluted water is not let into sources of water, but it is first purified, cleaned, and then it is let out into rivers. Like the waters from the industry, sewage and other wastewaters of town is also processed for purification. This will prevent pollution of water. Now, the flowing waters of rivers get purified to some extent by natural processes also. Before water is supplied to city or town, it is purified. Let us now learn how to make a simple water filter. Let's take a plastic bottle and We shall tie a clean piece of cloth over its mouth. So this is the mouth of the bottle, and you see that a filter, coffee filter is tied over here, but you can also tie a clean piece of cloth. You can cut the base of the bottle. So the bottle is cut into half, the base is kept over here and the bottle is upturned on it. Hold the water upside down. Now when we hold the water upside down, you need to pour some coal powder in it. So over here we pour some coal powder in it, and then we add fine sand, we add coarse sand, we add pebbles, and make three different layers inside the bottle as shown in this diagram. So, and then we place the bottle on the lower half of the water bottle. So the part which we cut out is kept over here, and on this the bottle is overturned and kept. Now we pour some muddy water over here in this section. We pour some muddy water, and water containing some rubbish is slowly let into the bottle. So water travels from fine sand, coarse sand, pebbles, and coal powder, and we should observe the water that flows in the other half of the bottle. Now when we observe the water that comes out in the other half, we see that water appears to be clean. Of course, now if the water is clean, but we have learned that there might be some impurities or some microorganisms in it which we cannot see with our naked eye. So obviously this water appears to be clean, but it's not pure, or it's not free from pollution. So we know that even after filtering the pieces that we see in water or muddy particles from water, the water might be impure and have many harmful substances which are not visible to a naked eye dissolved in it. So same goes with the water that is provided to us. The water comes from source of water. It might look clean, but it is not clean. So it needs to be treated. Water works as a facility where the water which is supplied to public is stored and cleaned before it is distributed to the public. Let's look at how water is purified at water works. There is a four-step method that is used to purify water, and we should look at each step in great detail. The first step is settling, second is filtration, third is oxygenation, and fourth is chlorination. So let's look at each step. The first step is settling, where the water particle is kept still in large tanks. So water is filled in this tank and it is kept still for a long time. What happens is the particles that are mixed in water, they settle down at the bottom of the tank. So alum is also used to help in this process. Alum is used to make the particles heavier and it settles down. So the clean water remains above and we see the coarse water or coarse grains or muddy particles collected at the bottom of the tank. After settling, after this you need to filter out the muddy particles from the water. So it is filtered at filtration tank. So there are filtration machines which separate the muddy particles and the harmful big particles from water using filtration machine. Apart from after filtration, it is oxygenated. So air and water are allowed to mix with help of pumps. This causes oxygen from air to dissolve in water. Now water which has some amount of oxygen dissolved in it is healthy and it is fresh water. So usually when water gets polluted, you know that the amount of oxygen in the water is reduced, and this harms the aquatic life that is there in the water source, because you know that everyone relies on oxygen. So since the water might have less content of oxygen, pumps are used so that oxygen can mix and we can get oxygenated water to drink. After oxygenation, there is process of chlorination. where chlorine is mixed with water to kill germs. Now, chlorine is a chemical that is used to kill the germs that are present in water so that the water stays pure and is not harmful. Children, we know that water evaporates continuously, and if it does not rain for a very long time, you know that water from the wells and the rivers and the other sources may also dry up because of evaporation, and this is called as a drought. Now, at such places, water levels fall in rivers, wells, and some of them even may go dry, and the land dries due to evaporation. Humans and animals suffer from scarcity of water, and this condition is called as famine. So famine is a condition where you don't have water for a long amount of time, and there is scarcity of water and food, and people go hungry for days. Now grain and fodder become scarce during famine, and people living also have to face a lot of hardship, and animals and plants also suffer. We know that we get water due to rains, but we get rains only for 4 months in a year, and if that rainwater is not stored, we will not have water for our daily needs after the rain. So let's see how rainwater gets stored naturally. So over here we have an image which shows that it's raining. So when it rains, the water usually percolates the ground, and it gets saved, or it is retained in a porous rock or cracks into the rock, which is called as the groundwater table or groundwater zone. So, if the water flows out, many times the water flows away, and it cannot percolate the ground. So it is very necessary to stop the flow of water so that it percolates into the soil, and the groundwater storage increases. So to increase the groundwater storage, you need to stop the flow of rain so that more water gets seeped through the soil into the groundwater table. Apart from percolation of the ground to increase the groundwater table, there are several other methods that are used to make rainwater seep into the soil. The first is large dams can be built across the rivers. So you know that a river is very huge and the water flows into the ocean where the fresh water gets wasted. So to stop this, you build dams so that the water, you know, is stored into the dam. So over here a dam is built across a river, and you can see that water is stored in this place. When the water level rises and it is very difficult for the dam to hold water, that is when the water is released from the dams. So this can be used to store water, but you know that it is not possible in all places, because you know that everywhere can't get a good landscape or a good quality of land to do such things. So apart from this, there are other small things that are done to store water. So the another method undertaken to store water is to build artificial reservoirs or smaller reservoirs. So this is a pond that is being built so that rainwater gets collected in this pond, and the water can be used by the villagers all around the year. Another way where you can stop the water from flowing so that it can stop and percolate in soil is contour bunding. We have studied about contour bunding. Contours is something that joins a line that joins points of equal heights on a slopey or a hilly terrain. So over here we have small bunds being created on the contour line. So small bunds in the sense small walls. So what happens is when water is flowing in this direction, the wall stops the water, and there is some amount of water retained over here in this bund and in this bund, and in such a way the water is retained and it percolates into the sound. This is an example of how contour bunding is done. If there is no hilly or slopy area, you can also build bunds. So bunds are nothing but small walls that are built in the direction where the water flows. So it's like this, and the water which is flowing gets collected over here and it seeps into the ground, so that you can have water percolation and groundwater table rising. So this is also called as water management, where you use water to save it, where you use various techniques to save rainwater. Now water management can be also done at home, that is rainwater falling on the roofs, okay, can be drained into large tanks placed beside the building. Using all such methods help us to store as much water as possible. So over here we can see that there is rains, and we can collect the rains by using the pipes, and you can store the water in tank, and you can use it any time in the year. It is very important to use water carefully and to stop rainwater from flowing away, to make it seep into the ground or collect it in tanks. So another way is, you can collect the rainwater using pipes, and you can dig a well near your house and let the rainwater seep or go into the well. Now the water from the well seeps into the ground, and your groundwater table also rises due to it. So taking steps to ensure that rainwater will be available even in a period after the rainy season is called as water management. Children, we are at the end of the session. Let us have a quick recap about what we learned in today's session. First, we studied about pollution of water, about disposal of wastewater and how it pollutes water sources. Then we studied about treating water and purification of water. We studied about water works, where water is treated before supplying it to public. Then we studied about famine, that is a natural disaster. Then we studied about water management, so that we can avoid droughts. So water management is basically using rainwater so that it is available for us throughout the year, even when it does not rain. For your homework, you are going to collect in which year famine had occurred in your state and what measures were undertaken so that you can get over famine. Thank you and have a good day.